I hear that those who driving to come here have to park them car way down so and walk through the crowd. The crowd thick. Such is the message from the Jamaica Labour Party. Thick message. Enough to talk about. The labor rights. You're going to hear from someone now who has been serving, who has offered service to this country in a big way a few years ago. But this individual wasn't comfortable with what she would have done, and she did extremely well. This individual don't know what it means to lose. A winnings, she said. At the time, you could be talking about silver, but she knows what gold is, and she knows the goal of her people. Labor rights, all who are in the earshot of my voice, make sure you listen up. This is the sprinter. This is the boss lady for West Rural St. Andrew. I speak of none other than Juliet, Cuthbert-Flynn.
Now listen, what am I say? Them why you say you feel, but you are winning next term this year. Right now, Juliet not have no worries. She a lead on everything, yes. And she a win every.
Show on labor rights. East Rural. East Rural. I bring you greetings. Let me say hello to everyone on the platform. Mabel, the mic, you can't hear me? Or you can't hear me now? You can't hear me now? All right. I bring you greetings from West Rural. We're going to say mic check. I bring you greetings from the cool hills of West Rural St. Andrew. And I see my West Rural people here. Yes, we had to be here this evening because I know that Juliet Holness is working for the people of East Rural St. Andrew. And I know that East Rural is ready to return her for the third term. You know, labor rights, we know that we've been doing a great job in crime reduction. There's been a 42% reduction in crime. And that's because this government, your government, has been working very hard to make this happen. You remember when they kept asking for the crime plan? You remember no more, you don't hear them anymore asking for a crime plan. You know why? Because the crime plan is not working. Yes. I saw another gentleman in an orange shirt today in the newspaper saying that the people are facing trauma in St. James. There's been a 67% reduction in murder in St. James. And this man, you know why they're facing trauma? We're all facing trauma? Because the PMP did nothing about crime fighting for 18 and a half years. That is why. And that is the reason. This government, we've been working very hard. We have invested in technology to make sure that the police have the technology to reduce crime. This government has been working hard to make sure that the police have the proper police stations to work from to make sure that crime is reduced. It is this government that has made sure that the police have enough boots on the ground and enough police cars in order to reduce crime. And so this is the Andrew Holness-led government that has made this happen. And so, my labor rights, the PMP, they definitely cannot be trusted. They are so jealous of us cutting ribbons week after week after week. And more ribbons will be cut this week. Last week, labor rights, we cut another ribbon in West Rural St. Andrew, opening a police station. Yes. And so they're going to tired to see we face. They're going to be tired of us cutting ribbons because we are not done. And in our third term, there will be more ribbons to cut. You know, I want to say something because I saw a PMP cutting a ribbon this week. I couldn't believe it because I thought that it is something illegal that he was doing, giving water to people. I didn't know that a person who is not a member of parliament, who is not an elected official, he's not NWC, but somehow he was giving water to people somewhere in St. James. And you know, they cannot be trusted. They even lay a pipeline along the boulevard and did not connect the pipeline. Labor rights, it is this government that has worked hard. The hardest working, one of the hardest working ministers, Matthew Samuda, making sure that we're getting water right across Jamaica, right across the country, something that we have never seen before in the history of Jamaica. Labor rights, it is this government that has managed the country. We cannot trust the PMP to lead us into a third term. There is no way we have to make sure that they're not elected this time around. So you know what you need to do, right? You know what you need to do. You're gonna put the X beside the bell. Labor rights. We saw what happened during a pandemic. We saw the entire world grappling with this disease, the COVID-19 pandemic. It crippled the entire world. And no civil servant, none, no nurse, no doctor, no teacher was laid off, while we saw our Caribbean counterparts laying off civil servants because we manage the country. The PMP could never do that. They cannot lead. They're not good stewards of this country, and they cannot be trusted. Labor rights, we saw just the other day, we saw a number of things happening in this country. We saw our Prime Minister in Halfway Tree handing out booklets to show our achievement. Labor rights, that has never happened in our history. That has never happened in our history. I'm 61 years old, and I remember back in 1980 when a lot of Jamaicans ran away from this country because of PMPism. And we will not return to that time in our history. They're talking about blood and fire. They're talking about war. You know, Denise Daly should be ashamed of herself when she's talking, what is she? Setting PMP against labor rights. Setting up PMP against labor rights. Telling them to hate us. But we are not about that, labor rights. We're all about love. That is what we are about. Labor rights. East Rural. I'm saying to you, your member of parliament has been working very hard. I've been watching Juliet go across all divisions and working in all divisions. Labor right, this election is a serious election. I know that you're watching and seeing all that has been happening in the newspaper today. Them come out in full force today. So you know what is coming. I'm saying to you, make sure, workers, that you are doing all that you can to get your people out, to go out and vote come election day. I see my West Rural family, and you know that there was a woman that was in this constituency, and she had to leave. And we are going to make sure that we run away from outer West Rural and run away for good. East Rural, I'm asking you to make sure, I know that you know that you're going to do the right thing. You're going to bring back Juliet wholeness. You're going to bring back Andrew wholeness. And you're going to make sure that when the bell rings, you're going to put your ex beside the bell. Show a labor right.